We're going to have a wonderful conversation,
That's right.
and we're going to start with a wonderful set of panelists.
Let's start by bringing up Troy Simon. You met Troy a little bit earlier. Give him a round of applause. Troy, the 19-year-old grad from Science Academy and a Youth Summit speaker. Welcome to the stage. He's going to take this first chair here.
Next, we're going to bring out Chental Song-Bembry, author and founder of and CEO of the Honey Bunch Kids.
Represent. Next up, Victoria Tori Turner, Miss Black, Louisiana, 2012 representing, also an author and founder of Tori Turner's Dream Big Foundation.
Absolutely. Next, we're going to bring up Flozell Daniels, CEO of the Foundation for Louisiana.
Represent. Give him up. Al Nelson, come on up. Al Nelson is the co-founder of EasyVIP LLC, and he's also the winner of ABC Shark Tank. Y'all remember Shark Tank? Y'all seen the show? He's one of the winners, making money now. Give it up for him. Also co-owner of Midnight Gigs.
Now, this next guy needs no introduction, but I'm going to say it anyway. He's an actor. You see him in all the Tyler Perry movies, but he's also from my hometown of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Lamman, Rucker.
Uh-oh. Represent. No rushing the stage. Don't rush this. Hold on. Y'all didn't do all that for me. What happened there? I came out, y'all was like, yeah. Y'all jumping off the stage for this guy. All right, represent. All right, you know this next woman coming to the stage too. She's no stranger to you guys. Demetria McKinney. She's from the House of Pain. That's right. She's representing up in here today. Thank you for joining us. You may not know she's also does everything from singing to songwriting, modeling, dancing. She does it all. A triple threat.
Now, this time we're going to ask a series of questions, and I'm going to step on the floor, and later on we're going to ask you to get involved as well.
Yeah, so don't be afraid. Start thinking of your questions now. Start thinking about what you want to say. Y'all all taking pictures of them. Let me stand next to them so I'm getting some pictures, okay? Holler back at your boy.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, oh, what, is this in the way? Afterwards, we'll have them stand up here.
Yeah.
Y'all can take some pictures. Don't bum rush the stage. Just calm down. If y'all ask questions, you ask a question, you can get a picture. How about that? So we're going to need some involvement later. But right now, we're going to go ahead and kick this thing off with starting with the youth. And we want to ask you guys, a lot of people say we don't hear from the youth. We don't get an opportunity to talk to them. So now we want to find out, just starting off with you guys, what are some of the major challenges the young people face today?
Ladies first.
Okay. Some major challenges that we face today is a lot of the bullying and the peer pressure. We all want to fit in. And I know that we all want to fit in and be just like everybody else. We think everything's cool, but bullying is a serious epidemic. It's a serious cause. And the sooner we realize it, then the better life will be.
The main challenge that youth face when they go to school, they try to live up to the expectations of what their peers have set in mind. You are expected to dress a certain way, to act a certain way, and look a certain way. And if you don't meet those standards, you are bullied and you are teased about that. And that's really the main problem with kids. They're very judgmental of one another. So that's really the main challenge.
Another challenge is that teens, and I believe you said, teens struggle with peer pressure. And with peer pressure, there's people, constantly tell them when they make mistakes, you're wrong, and they say like, you're foolish, you're stupid. But that's not the right way to handle it. Everybody make mistakes. How can we ever learn if we never make a mistake? And the thing is, I see with that situation, for those students who make mistakes and get teased because of that, you have to keep trying, because the thing is, if you stop and hold yourself and you silence yourself, you'll never overcome your challenges. You'll never get where you really want to be. And the thing is, that's not cool, and you have to be better than that, and you are better than that. You got to try.
Wow. Speak it. So I'm curious, did you guys go through some of these same issues when you were young, and how did you deal with that bullying, the peer pressure, being a leader, not a follower?
Hold on, is that like the youthful side and we're like the older side or something?
This is the slightly other youthful side.
You gonna put your chair over there?
This is the youthful but not as youthful side. That's all. That's all.
Just a little bit more mature.
Yeah. Wisdom. We can look for wisdom.
Yes, I went through a lot of the bullying, the teasing. I'm a military brat, so I was never in one place very long. On top of that, here you go. Y'all ready? I had a curl.
Oh, no.
Ooh, I had headgear. Do y'all know what headgear is?
Yeah.
Oh.
The antenna around the face thing?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Need a
Whoa.
Give her a hug.
You know,
Give her a hug.
but later on, those things that they thought would define me as ugly, as not worth it, as not going to succeed, made me really have to use my brain, made me really have to show people who I was. And later on, it all came to be all right.
Oh, it did. Yeah. It did.
Now, I personally used to bully Lamman Rucker, so I know he was bullied.
You guys are from the same community, right?
Absolutely.
And see what happens when you bully somebody? You end up being twice their size. Luckily, that's not true. And fortunately, instead, we've been positive examples for each other. So that was one of the things that I've always been very privileged to have around me, aside from the negative influence, our peers, like Dr. Perry, that the entire time we're growing up or in school together, or at least not together, but neighboring institutions or whatever, you see a brother doing his thing. And similarly, the positive peer pressure also exists. So you got to be really conscious of who you associate yourself with and the kind of examples. And if you can set examples like this for each other instead, we're still standing here on this dais with you instead of 6 feet deep or behind bars. I had a cousin write me the other day from prison. I had an uncle that my entire relationship with him, for the most part, and association of him, was him being incarcerated pretty much my entire life, my entire childhood. Now I've seen my uncle completely take charge of his life, revolutionize his life, go back to school. He's 50-something, you know what I mean? Clean up his act, clean up his body, all of that. But one of the major influences around me was the issue, was these opportunities to be violent, these opportunities to rob, steal, do some of the really foolish behavior that's out there. And all it takes is, I remember my dad telling me, it takes you that long to get in trouble and forever to get out of it. And those two things really never, there was no, it wasn't like a balance to that. So it made sense to, maybe it's probably better to stay out of trouble and never get in trouble, to never have a record, that kind of thing. So I'm glad that influence of being into the criminal behavior, drug, behavior and violent behavior is something that I was able to stay away from. But not all my boys and not a lot of other young ladies I know that I grew up with can say the same.
Well, you hit on one important point that I want to bring up later in the discussion that a lot of people don't realize. They're building jails as a billion-dollar business to put you there. Building jails and making the leaders of that county promise that they'll have 3,000, 4,000 people to put in those jails before they build them. It's a business, and they're building those jails for you. So it's important that you learn how to stay out of jail. We'll move on. I won't get on my soapbox right now. But
No, I agree totally what he's saying. There's a saying, show me your network and I'll show you your net worth. So pick who you hang around with wisely. And don't be afraid of bullies, because you deal with it as a child and you're going to deal with it when you grow up in the corporate environment. Not everyone's nice, not everyone's out friendly, and you just have to know how to deal with it. Life is how you react to problems, not the problems that come to you. So just act accordingly.
Flozell, can you pick up on that? What advice would you give students here to create a safe space for themselves? Because a lot of times they need to cultivate a peer network that will protect them.
Thank you, Andre. I was just going to speak to that. One of the most exciting things we've seen here locally is youth in high school and even junior high school working with each other to create clubs within their schools, within their churches, within their neighborhood associations, and some of their civic work that they do so that they can actually protect themselves, whether it's young people who are dealing with LGBT issues, or young people who have handicaps or disabilities, or who are just being bullied. They're creating a safe space with themselves. They're actually learning how to use public policy. They're partnering with adults in their communities who care and have understanding about what to do. You all can empower yourselves to help yourselves and to help your peers who you know are being bullied.
And don't forget it. Remember what it felt like. Remember what it did to you. Remember all of those elements. Forgive, but don't forget it. Because when you get up to some level, if you're in the 7th grade or you're the 6th grader right now and you're getting picked on, once you get up to that 9th grade level, it's almost like they feel it's a responsibility to uphold that legacy. You have the power to remember what happened to you, what that felt like, be a support to somebody else going through it, be an advocate for other people to stop doing it. So take those situations that happen to you and try to turn them around in the end.
Now, I'm curious. Yeah, give it up. I'm curious, do you guys already have programs in your school to help with these issues that you're going through? Are there no programs, no funding for that? I mean, what's the situation?
At my school currently, we have mentors. We have teacher role models that we can go to whenever we have issues with anything. Instead of going to negative people and going to drugs and going to violence, we go to our mentor because we feel like they can talk to us, they can listen to us instead of dictating us. It's something that a lot of people do. But really, there isn't very many programs to help with it. There's just a mentor to talk to.
At my school, we have many clubs and activities that students of all backgrounds and personalities and differences can go to feel like they are a part of something. And I think it's so important for everybody to feel equal to one another because that's really what separates a lot of kids. Some of them think that they're better than others. Nobody is better than you. You are not better than anybody. Everybody deserves to be treated as an equal. And a lot of clubs in my school, that's what they focus on. So I just want you guys to know that. Always treat everyone with the most respect and just to always never hold your head up high like you're some mighty person because you guys are all youth. You guys are going to be the next generation for this world. And if you guys don't know how to get along with each other now, you can't accomplish anything in the future. So, yes.
Now, I see a lot of people out there clapping. Those are the same people who be talking about folks, making fun of folks, making little cracks and jokes. And so you're out there like, yeah, girl, that's right, we equal. And turn around and cuss somebody out or make fun of them for the way they look. So then my next question would be, and whoever wants to jump in and take this, how do you live out what she's saying? It's easy to say it when you're up here and you're saying, yeah, be proactive and get involved and do good to others. But how are y'all going to do that instead of doing the opposite? You know, what is the key to living that?
That's an excellent question. And again, you all have to understand that these things that we're suggesting to you and these encouragements that we're giving you, trust me, we understand. We were there. And it also doesn't change much. The more mature of a young person you become, these same issues, these same principles will still apply. So if you all set good habits now and start, in a sense, conditioning yourself and in a way like training and shaping yourself to be a certain type of person now, by the time you get to where we are in life, these things will already be part of your habit. They'll be part of the way you conduct yourself and the way you treat other people and the way other people treat you. So, you know, it's really about courage. It's about you having the courage to do something a little different than maybe what everybody else is doing. Again, I was taught just because everybody runs to the right doesn't mean you need to run over there with them. If they're running toward a fight, your dumb behind needs to go this way. And you know what? If 80,000 people want to run that way and you're the only clown to go this way, guess what? I'll be that clown because the fight that y'all just ran to and a few more y'all just got shot and then arrested because y'all were in the middle of all that foolishness, guess what? I had enough sense to know that just because everybody else is doing that, and even though y'all might tease me and talk about me bad because I went this way, after I went this way, guess what? I look back and several other people followed me. Now, if I didn't have the courage, right, to make that tough decision, so many other people might not have either. Most of you know what's right. You already believe in your heart, you know, what's the better thing to do. Most of the time, you just don't have the courage to do it. We're telling you, have the courage to do it. All it takes is one person oftentimes to mobilize other people moving in that more positive direction. Don't be afraid to do the right thing.
Now, at this time, we're actually going to move into Q&A. And so we're going to give an opportunity, and I think people are going to line up in the microphone in the center. And as people do that and think about their question, I want to actually pose this to Troy, because oftentimes bullying occurs outside of school. In fact, most violence occurs after the school hours, and a lot of those kids aren't in school. So how did you deal with those bullies and those factors who weren't in school, that did not have an authority, that you couldn't bounce a warning to? How did you deal with that?
I kept myself in a library. I noticed high school I had went to, it started for
That's
8:30 and ended for 5 o'clock. I went to Urban League College Track after school program, and I stayed in that program until 4 o'clock until 7. And I went straight home. By the time I get home, it's dark outside, and I had to do a lot of homework, and so I'll just be bogged down with a lot of work. How else I did it? By going to church and hanging out with the right people, because I knew that there was no good for me. The thing is, because I had to see myself where I wanted to be. My friends that I did had, I saw them, and they asked me questions about how I'm doing, and I tell them all the great things that I'm doing, and they say, man, I wish I could do the same thing. And sometimes they ask me to tag along with them and hang out with them, but I tell them no. And it's not because that they're bad people. It's just because where I'm going, they are not going. And the thing is, with that situation. With that situation, these are my friends over here, my old friends, and this is my goal. So I got to go get my goal, then I'll come back and help you, because I know that you need me, but right now you're stuck in a trap hole. So the thing is, and I can explain it this way to you all, and especially to the young people. The thing is, it's like, with young people, you are in a hole, and there's people passing by you, and you don't know how to get yourself out of the hole because you came into a world you don't know nothing about. And that's the hard part, because you have no values that you can attach yourself to. And when that happens, you stay stuck in that hole. So what the part is, we need somebody, somebody that can help you get out of the hole, not by telling you how to get out of the hole, but actually jumping in the hole with you and saying, you know what, we can do this. Let's get up together. So the thing is, you can't make it alone in this world. You have to keep on trying. And the thing is, you're gonna need help wherever you're going. So in how I handle my problems like that, with people who's gonna encourage me, deposit great things into my life. And when they deposit great things in my life, there's going to be a positive output, and I'm going to tell other people. And it's a chain reaction that happens. And what I want to say to you, and that's when I realized that, well, true success is the quality of one's mind and one's character. And that is success. And that's how you handle your business, and just dealing with people around your neighborhood. And when they're talking about you, you say, you know what? Take care, and you walk off. And I know the thing is, when people, that follow you and try to hit you, but we have to think positively and make great choices. Who you going to hang out with? See the trouble before you get there and know, well, that's not a right move. I'm going to make the right move and not go that way. I'm going to go this way because I see trouble. Why go somewhere when there's trouble? You right?
That's good.
So you're going to go somewhere else.
Excellent. I hope y'all listening to this and taking it in, because the brother is speaking knowledge.
Woo. So now we're actually going to go to the question.
He's going to be a PhD and a preacher.
Absolutely.
Right.
Future politician.
And this brave young lady was the first to step forth. So please deliver your question. Try to be as succinct as possible.
And this is not an opportunity to ask them for the phone numbers, the email. We ain't doing all that. Ask a question. Okay, go ahead.
Hi, my name is Shania, and I'm from Baltimore.
Hi, Shania.
Hi. My question is, what is your advice for young people or teenagers like me who have the drive to do the right thing but always fall back into the wrong crowd? Because I know sometimes, I have a problem with, I'm in the right crowd, but then sometimes it's always that one thing that kind of stirs me to the wrong crowd, and I want to make sure I can keep myself on track, for other people who probably in the same situation as me, to keep on track too.
So how does she stay on the right track? Anyone?
The definition of insanity is doing the exact same thing and expecting a different result. Where you at?
Right there.
Hi. Okay. If you recognize, one, that you have a problem, that's the first opportunity to get away from it. Being able to stand here in front of all of these people and say, you know what, I have a responsibility to myself. I see what I'm doing wrong. I know what it's going to end up at, and still doing it again, that's on you. You have no excuse. And now you have all these people in this room who hear you say it. Be accountable to yourself. The fact that you recognize the problem means that you have an opportunity to solve it.
Yep. We're going to go to our next question.
I'm proud of you for being here and for
Amen.
acknowledging that, So just keep trying, sweetheart. Keep trying.
Got it.
Hi, my name is Ariel Wilkins. I'm from Columbia Urban League, and my question is directed towards the whole panel. I've always been told I've been a smart girl, but I find it really hard to like get motivated. Like I get bored really easily. So what advice would you give to somebody that wants to get big but doesn't really know how to get the drive?
Can I take that from Al? Because Al started his first business at 18 years old. That had to take a lot of focus to be able to do something at that point.
Yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, you need to find what you like to do. I think a lot of people get so sidetracked with trying to do what society wants them to do, and just do what you want to do. And I promise you, every day that you work, you will not feel like you're working. Every day I go to work, I'm not working. I do what I love to do. I managed to come from the hood, if you want to call it that. Any criminal activity, anything you can think of, my friends have been involved with it, and I've managed to grow myself out of that. And I've partnered with Mark Cuban and Damon John and Pitbull and amazing people. And that all started from me focusing what I like to do, trying to create a business around it and just go forward. So I just say focus on what you want to do.
And just for clarity, too, I know you were in school, so that boredom may be coming from some of the schoolwork you don't want to do because you don't like to do it. I understand that. And just an extra tip to try to maybe do it in other ways that are more creative, that you are interested in it, where you may be doing it with friends, a study group or something like that, to help encouraging yourself. And give yourself rewards as well to help push yourself forward to that next level of accomplishment that you want to do in school. Okay? All right.
Hello, my name
Good
is
question.
Tomatis. Oh. Hello, my name is Tomatis, and I'm from Baltimore. My question is there any advice that you can give us as youngsters or teenagers, like for somebody that wants to be in y'all's shoes, like for and, yeah.
But let me ask you this.
Hold on. Let me ask you a question. What's your dream, man?
Yeah,
what do you want to
go.
do?
Oh, I wanna be an actor, but also do graphic design on the side. So.
What do you do towards accomplishing that dream?
Well, I mean, I draw from time to time.
Keep drawing. Don't stop. Don't stop acting. Don't stop drawing, and go after it. Put yourself in situations to succeed in that space. Lock in, really focus on what you want to do, and you'll succeed. I promise you.
Every day do something towards your craft. I've never taken an acting class, but I watch people, and I absorb whatever it is I see them doing. That lady sitting over that's homeless, that man that just bought his burger and he chews it kind of crazy. All of those people I might come into contact with in a script. So every day do something towards it. If it's drawing that day, if it's going to a movie and watching how Sean Penn delivers I Am Sam, if it's whatever it is, every day do something towards your craft.
And Lamman, let me...
I was going to say, ask the youth that question, because today they're peers. Everyone up here are peers. So ask the youth that question.
Because they have books, they have jobs,
Absolutely.
they have businesses as well, very successful.
Well, I'll start first. I'll start with this quote. This man told me, he was saying, the secret to life is the consistency of purpose. And, you know, when I tell you that, whatever you're trying to do in life, keep your head on straight and keep going. And whatever you're looking for, your friends, your dream job, your dream wife, whatever it may be, all that is going to fall into place. You don't have to worry about anything else. You have your answer. The answer is just going to come. You just got to just walk into it. Life is easy, just like me talking to you. I talk because I just know that I'm telling, all right, I talk because I know I'm telling you something right, and I know that it's going to benefit you, and I'm just doing this thing and just walking into it, right? And just like I'm on this panel, I just walked into it. I didn't have to go looking for it. It came to me, and that's how life is, you know?
And he's talking about dream wife. Goodness gracious. At, how old are you?
19.
He's talking about literally, and I'm not joking, so few men are not committed for anything over a period of time. Well, but you're talking about dream wife. That's pretty impressive.
Right. Chental, you want to comment on that?
Yes, I also have a quote for you and everyone here. I met a man last year. His last name is Turnipseed, and I can never forget his name because it's so just different. But he said this quote. He said, "Chance favors the prepared mind." Do you guys know what that means? No? Okay, I'll explain it to you. Now, when you are prepared in life, anything that you guys want to do, any dreams you want to go after, anything you want to be, when you do the things that God puts in front of you first, and you don't rush, you are preparing yourself for what He has in store for you that is so great. You can't rush. You can't be impatient. You have to do what is in front of you and focus. And that is preparing. And then you get the big chance. So when your mind is prepared, when you've done everything that is needed to be done before you get your big opportunity, then that's when it'll happen and everything will fall in place.
All right, she about to get me shouting up in here. Preach it, sister. We got all kinds of preachers over here on this side. Okay.
Let's go to our next question.
Let's move on to another question.
I'm Andre Burrell from the Houston area affiliate. This is for y'all. I want to say, being in the entertainment industry, you know, you have your ups and your downs, but what advice would you give to the youth, not only in the entertainment industry, but for everyone to stay positive, you know, not getting caught up in all that negative energy that can be around you?
I guess I'll jump on that one. I mean, one of the things that I try to clarify for people is you all have to understand that what we do as entertainers, it has a certain degree of artistry and of creativity, but there's a big part of it that is just what you called it, which is industry. It's a business, all right? And one of the difficult things about being actors, you know, models, you know, dancers, singers, you know, we do all these things.
Stop pointing at me, dude.
You know, well, you know, you know how to do all that
Renaissance
stuff
woman.
too. You're multi-talented. That's what we do. So first of all, that's a multitude of skills, right? You're prepared for whatever opportunity may come your way at any time to apply either of those skills or others. But what you have to understand is just because you might think you're talented enough, just because you might think you're worthy of that opportunity, it may be up to somebody else to decide whether or not you're right for what they are doing, what their project is. And you have to learn how to not take that personally. There's a real clear differentiation, even though you've got to be personally, like, invested. And again, this is right, you're out there giving your soul in that audition or that song, that dance, whatever. But you have to go in the room or go have that opportunity, lay it all out there, and then step away from it and kind of detach yourself from the result and know that if you don't get the job, it doesn't mean you shouldn't continue to still be in this field. You shouldn't continue to still be in the fight. You shouldn't continue to still, you know, knock on the door of whatever the next available opportunity is and apply yourself the same way the next time. You know, there's a difference between the business side of it, you know, and the real personal kind of creative side to it. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. They let their feelings get hurt every time that they feel like they got rejected. Nobody rejected you. They just didn't maybe feel like you were the right person for that particular job at that particular time. Your blessings will come some other place.
Now, Demetria, I want to ask you, you know, a lot of people may be interested in the entertainment industry, but, you know, he's talking about how difficult it is and you get the no's. How do you deal with that no, especially when the no is coming from your family and everybody being negative? You can't do that. You won't be that. You're never going to be on the big screen. How do you deal with that and emotionally and to something that's going to help keep you pushing forward?
Woo.
There's a lot of haters out there.
Man.
Some of them, they live with you, right?
First off, you have to invest in yourself. And I'm not talking about necessarily monetary, because first and foremost, the first thing I had to learn about this industry is that it is a job. Once House of Pain finished, for a short period of time, I was unemployed. Did you hear what I said? Okay? So what we do is just a real big glorified job. People get to see you mess up. People get to see you do great. People get to see you when you're broke. People get to see your relationships. People get to see when you're down. People get to see where you're up. But everybody's watching that. It's a job, okay? Now, when you have haters on one side, you have to understand that that's their job. God made the devil. He has a job. He's going to do it to the best of his ability. It's my job to make sure that I do the job that God gave me to do to the best of mine. So I have to instill in myself that I am worthy. I have to instill in myself that I have to work at it. I have to instill in myself that I have to dedicate to myself those opportunities, times, and efforts to be great in that moment that I get. Whoever's trying to hold you down, whatever your job is, I mean, you might be at Burger King right now, you might be the next manager. You might, baby, be the best at what, if you a window wiper, wash the heck out of that window, okay? Whatever it is you do
Hey,
it
I was
great.
the flyest
Make them hate you.
McDonald's drive-through food ever.
Me too. Whatever you do it so well that you make them hate on you. If they're hating on you, you're doing something right.
Can I help you?
I like that.
Question. We got another question. Question.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Williams. I'm from the West Palm Beach affiliate. Throughout my high school career, I just graduated in May. I'll be attending Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University.
Yeah. Congratulations.
All right.
But
Like that.
Throughout my high school career, I suffered a lot of adversity. In my class of 300, there were only 30 African Americans. And many of my teachers told me that I shouldn't be at this school because it wasn't for me. And many days I thought about quitting and giving up, and I never did. And I was wondering, what would you give a student like myself continuing to push forward to become an epidemiologist in the future, to strive and succeed and never quit?
Look at the examples before you, sister. Before you came along, there were people that looked like you who had difficulties. They were enslaved. They were biased against in a racial society. They were impoverished. I was born to a 16-year-old mother. We were poor. There were eviction notices. There were hungry nights. Lights out, right? Get home to do your homework and there are no lights on. My mother said, do your homework by candlelight. Please know and understand that hard work and dedication will save you, right? Hard work and commitment and dedication will allow you to have the life that you want to live. There have been a number of questions. I want to just add something to this. All of you young people, write down your dreams. We don't write enough anymore. I want you to write down your dreams, because you need to be able to reference every night what it is that you want to do and the steps that you need to take to get there. People will question you. There will be barriers. Trust me, sister, there will be more. It's okay. There are people who came before you, including many successful researchers and epidemiological doctors who are really successful, who had the kind of barriers that you have. And also get some models, get some mentors, folks who are doing what you want to do. They will take you on and show you how to get there.
And Al, just add to this briefly, because the higher you go into whatever field, there's fewer and fewer people who look like us.
That's right. That's
so
right.
Al, can you speak on that?
Absolutely. I run a foundation right now. I'm the only black-run foundation in Louisiana. You have to get really comfortable. I went from an all-black high school to a majority college. I didn't have any friends. I didn't know how to get along. No one invited me to the study groups. I didn't have the information. I just had to really work hard and get comfortable with the fact that I was sometimes going to be an outlier. I was not going to be in the majority. You have to find ways to find a sense of community. What are the things you like to do? How is it that you are? And this is for everyone. How do you connect with the people that care about the things that you care about so that you can have a sense of community? It really helps to heal your soul, and it helps to make you happier and move on in life.
Yeah. And to add on really quick, my mother got me into a high school, and I was the only black person in the whole school. She got me in on, I guess, affirmative action. She got me into this school, and I was literally the only black person in the whole school. So the problems that you face, trust me, I went through them. I heard every name. I saw every spiteful thing someone can do for you. I fought, I kicked, I screamed, but your past doesn't dictate your future. So you take it as a character builder and really deal with it and address it. And like she said, know how it feels and help someone else out.
And be proud of yourself. I think you're a wonderful example of everything that you need to continue to be. You're talking about how resilient you were, how you took a certain degree of discouragement or maybe even abusive behavior, again, from a teacher even, and some educators and even parents and relatives and friends and peers can be sometimes your biggest obstacle. But the fact that you finished that task, you graduated, you're moving on to your next goal, your next objective, you are already the example that you need. So what you should write down when you leave here, even before you leave here, and I would actually encourage everybody to do this. Write down on a piece of paper or 10 different pieces of paper. Try 20. A word that describes you in a positive and affirming way. Stick that on your refrigerator. Put that on your bathroom mirror. Shove that in your purse or in a back pocket of one of your, jeans or something like that, so that these are things that you remind yourself of all the time. This is what you need to continue to be encouraged and to positively affirm yourself. Don't think about just the negative that you've been through. Think about how positive you are and how positive you have to be to overcome the negative. And if you continue to do that and reinforce that, there's nothing you can't do. You're going to have your tough moments. We all do. We all get smacked upside the head. Don't think that we don't ever have our bad days or our discouraged, our moments of discouragement. We always do. But the affirmation, our examples of success like this one that you're telling me about right now, this is what you can continue to look back on and have your chin high and say, I did that, I can do it again, and you will.
I'm going to say this right quick, and I'm going to be real brief. I can't see you. You are paving the way for so many other people. Because they're watching you, they're watching your success as well. They're watching how you handle yourself. They're watching that you're standing there strong, tall, and proud of what you're doing. And the other thing is, the most beautiful roses are grown out of the most tough terrain. Okay? If Jesus himself went through what he was going to go through in order to be great, understand, greatness has a price. If you're willing to pay that price, the reward will be just as sweet.
All right, amen. Now, I'm going to add one more thing, and we're going to move on real quick. I was just going to say one thing my wife does, and she loves to do this, is she has a theme song. Every morning, she hypes herself up. She put that theme song on. She be going, boy. She puts out to it. She go. If you need a theme song, you pick a theme song. I'm a survivor. Whatever you want to do, get your theme song right and get your encouragement. And the same thing with everything else they were saying. Get it right. We only have a short amount of time, so we're going to let you guys ask a question, and only one person up here is going to answer the question. So if you have a specific person, address it to them. Otherwise, we'll pick somebody for it, okay?
Okay. Hi, I'm Laura. I'm from the Houston Urban League.
All right.
And,
Houston?
My question is
I like your bow.
Thank you. Okay. This is for Mr. Lamar. Hi.
Hi.
What were some of the physical or mental barriers that you had to face during high school, and how did they influence your career?
You have 30 seconds.
Yeah, right.
Right.
That's difficult. I mean, I remember, for example, one of the pressures, I think, of our industry in general is, for example, our appearance. There's sometimes there's this, there's a price to people finding you attractive. At the same time, there are privileges that come with somebody saying, oh, you're so handsome, whatever. So I remember, though, at one point, there was a lot of pressure to try to meet whatever that kind of expectation was, as opposed to just learning how to be comfortable in my own skin with who I was, what I looked like, what my body type was. I mean, I was, just a little skinny, lanky dude with big feet, big hands, and a big head, I mean, I went through my awkward stage just like anybody else. I remember being scared to death. I hadn't had chicken pox, and I had to take school pictures. I was like, oh, well, I mean, there were just so many different pressures about and I was a late bloomer. Physically, I felt like all my other peers were going through puberty before me, I remember my cousin was like, yeah, I got a little peach fuzz. Where you at, He's like, yeah, I already got a little line here on my belly button. I was like, man.
TMI.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? No, but I'm being real about there were all.
We like it real. Go ahead.
These insecurities are part of all of our lives, and they were a big part of mine, a big part. And what I had to do was just learn how to be confident in who I was as a young man and realize that I had other things to offer, not just who and what I physically looked like. And gradually, I was confident that, I'm going to evolve and to mature into whatever it is I'm supposed to be. If I take care of myself, I don't smoke, I don't do drugs, never have. My alcoholic intake is minimal. It's an occasional glass of wine, I'm very careful about the other things that I put into my body. So, but those insecurities and those body, image body image issues and stuff were very prevalent for me, and I still see a lot of our peers go through it now. They never really healed from it. So the sooner that happens for you, the sooner I think you really get to step into the glory and the confidence that you have and just being the beautiful young lady that you already are.
Great question.
And she blushing now, boy.
Look at that.
It's all right.
It don't mean nothing. If I say it, you got to believe it. So it's going to be on a whole nother level once you buy into it.
All right, next question.
Like Sheila in the movie.
Oh,
Hi, my name is Shireen. I'm from the Urban League of Palm Beach County, and my question is for anyone on the panel. We all go through all our difficult times, and we all are different, but how do you get through those tough times, and what has been your personal mantra?
Can Tori answer that one?
Sure. It all goes back to having confidence in yourself. People see me and they see the crown, they see she must have the best life ever. And I want to say, I'm 13 years old. I'm younger than most of you. People look at me and expect something, and I'm only human. But the thing you got to understand is that it's all about you. Be yourself. Be yourself. You know, people will like you for you, but don't try to imitate or have an image of something else. And a lot of things some people they do is they want to be just like this person. They want to be just like this person. Be the best you that you can be. People say my role model is Beyonce. My role model is this. Yes, you can have a role model, but strive to be the best that you can be. Strive to make yourself feel comfortable. Don't look. And this is to the ladies, don't look for guys for attention. You are beautiful in your own skin. You don't have to wear all the makeup. A couple of weeks ago, they had the Essence Fest, and they had a booth called My Black is Beautiful, Your Black is Beautiful. And we need to understand that. We really do. Because a lot of things we look at on television and see, I don't look like them, or my teeth are crooked, or like, I'm not as developed as anyone else. You are beautiful, and you need to be comfortable in your own skin.
All right, thank you.
But did you notice when she said she was 13, Troy went over, man, that scratches her out. Never mind.
Missed it.
Last but not least.
He missed it. Okay, my name is Demetria from Oklahoma City. Yeah. Hi, Miss McKinney. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good, love you, yeah.
Thank you.
Okay,
for
Mr. Lamar, as a young man, like, you know, I have acne and stuff. It ain't no big secret. Getting bullied and stuff. Oh, wow. What is the thing that you think that you got out of it that made you stronger?
You talking about my bullying?
Yeah. From Mr. Lamar.
Oh, for him. Oh, my bad. He said hi to
still
me.
my
I got
woman.
all excited.
I thought
Still
you
my
were
woman.
saying what's up.
You told me.
Well, one, it was learning that most bullies are victims of bullying themselves. Normally when people try to project these like overinflated images of toughness or violence or whatever, typically they're the punks and they're the cowards and they're the ones who've been beat up on half the time. So there's a certain degree of not to just allow people to just beat on you constantly. And most people weren't physically putting their hands on me most of the time, but I had one of my biggest bullies live directly across the street from me. Seriously. He punked me, and then, you know, the next day we'd be friends again, you know. But every once in a while when he decided to, he punked me again, you know. But it really came as a result of me understanding that I didn't always have to fight back. Sometimes the bigger fight was to allow him to be an idiot and go on about my business and not let his foolishness get in my way of doing what I needed to do with my life. Eventually, his behavior changed. He wanted to continue to be my friend. When I went to college and saw him later, he continued to want to be my friend. You know, so eventually, it's funny how people evolve. So there was a certain degree of understanding that I just had to have about, you know, the healing that bullies need. You know, I think it's really easy to kind of say, oh, I'm the victim and that person is the crook. but sometimes we forget that some of the people who are often trying to inflict pain on other people are the ones that need love and understanding and friendship the most. And I've been able to have that kind of impact on some of the bullies in my life, even as an adult. And it's amazing how people will come around if you kind of, instead of always fighting fire with fire, fight fire with water and see what happens.
All right. Now, before we go, we want to give a chance for our panel to give any final thoughts, final words, you know, any resources they may know of that you guys can log on to or what have you. So we'll go ahead and start now at this end, and we'll leave the last word to our youth. So,
great. Just a couple of words. I want to thank everybody for coming today. I think listening to this conversation, I'm reminded that we all have three things. You all have a gift, a responsibility, and the opportunity. You've been given the gift of youth and vitality and energy. It is so great to be here with you guys. But before you is a responsibility. We are depending on you to do the hard work and to strengthen your minds and your spirits and to be ready to take over this country and your communities as the leaders that you were born to be. And because of the hard work of people that came before you, the elders and your parents and our ancestors, you have the opportunity to do everything that you think about and everything that you dream about. And we hope you've been inspired by this panel, and we hope that you remain to be empowered. Thanks for having me.
I just want to let everybody know that everyone, you're no different from us up here. All right? I'm looking in the crowd, and my guy's over there in that row right there. Right there, yeah, you me, all right? That's just how me and my boys were. Yeah, you. Yeah, y'all just laughing, joking. That was me. Like, you know what I mean? But yeah, as you grow, you're going to realize decisions. Life is just a choice of decisions, right? So as you grow, just know what you want to do. And I always go back to that. Know your friends, know what you want to do, and everything will be good.
Yeah, give it up. Great advice. You made them mad, uncomfortable,
don't be mad. No, I'm so serious. I'm just
but
laughing.
I think that, you know, the love in what he's saying is that what we want you guys to be able to do is, even though, unfortunately, again, we're on this, you know, elevated stage, and, you know, and you all know Demetria and I from television, you probably look up to us in a certain way. That's great to a certain degree, but what we want you all to know, and the reason why we're really here, is to blur that line entirely so that you all understand that you are us. And we are you. You're capable of all of the things that any of us have accomplished, whether it's PhDs or, you know, hot primetime, you know, sitcoms, all right? Whatever it is, everything that we have been able to do and have access to, so can you, all right? Everything that, not every single thing, but most of the things, at least most likely to a small degree, if not identically to a lot of the things that you're going through or have been through, so have we. All right, so when you see us thrive, see yourselves thriving, you know, in us and through us. All right, we get our motivation and our encouragement from you and through you. We look up to you just the same way you're looking up to us. So we want you all to continue to be courageous, continue to be leaders. All right, following, you know, good leaders has its plus, but sometimes you got to decide whether you're going to be the head or the tail. And there's a whole lot of tails, you know, who wish they would have had the courage to be more intelligent and to have more leadership capacity than they showed. So we just want you all to be uplifted and empowered and encouraged, all right, and take responsibility for your lives. And there's really nothing you're not capable of doing if you apply yourself.
Mine is really simple. Every morning, wake up and decide to walk into the blessing you are.
Something first, I want to thank the National Urban League for having a youth event like this. What better to know what the youth think than asking us? Sorry. And I want you to know that you are the next generation. You can be the change that you want to see in your community and in this world. It all begins with us. And at the journey of 1,000 miles, it begins with one single step. So why don't you take that step towards your destiny today? Thank you.
I just want you all to know that anything that you want to do, any dream that you have, you're capable of doing it. And the only person who stands in the way of that is yourself. Because if you let haters come in and say, you can't do this, you can't do this, then you are going to start believing them. And you're going to hold yourself back. So I just want you guys to know that what is for you is for you. Let's say you're an actor and you want a role, or you want a certain position on a job, and somebody else gets it and you feel let down. That was for them, but something else is coming your way. You just have to wait for it and see what it is.
I just want to tell you all that leadership, let leadership not be power, but let leadership be virtue. And I just want to tell you that quitting is forever, but pain is only for the moment. Go through your pain in life and see where it takes you. It's going to take you far beyond once you see yourself unfold into the leader you're supposed to be. And just want to tell you this, life can be hard at times, and it can be like a rock. You can't see nothing happen. You can't see this big old rock that's in front of you move. But just know, if you keep pushing inch by inches, it'll move, and you'll see progress. And that's how life can be at times. It's hard, but keep on going. Persistency is important, and that's what gets us through life, our everyday life.
And man, he is a very wise young man. I just want to say one of the biggest mistakes I made as a child and as a young professional growing up, I didn't say thank you enough. And so for a moment, if we could just take the time to thank the camera people, the interpreter, the producers, the folks that clean up, let them hear, get up, let them hear.
Get on up, give it up for them. The National Urban League, everybody. All right.
Absolutely. And I can say thank you for your wonderful participation. Thank you, panelists, for having the courage to give. And I will see you around.
Okay, don't leave just yet. We have a few more things to do. I know y'all didn't forget about those tickets you got outside, right? The tickets, because y'all didn't they didn't get tickets. We're about to give some away. Did they have? Well, we're about to give away a Nook. I don't know. Did anybody get Nook tickets? Somebody out there? Okay, well, how are they going to be entered in the drawing if they didn't have it? Maybe they got your names somewhere else and because of the program and they just know about you. Anyway, we'll let some of you go ahead and start taking pictures on this side if you guys wanted to grab your pictures while we're announcing this. But at this time, one lucky person will win a Barnes & Noble Nook touchscreen tablet, 16 gigabyte memory, up to 11.5 hours of runtime, and of course, it's built in with Wi-Fi. So, who's the lucky winner? Yeah, let's see. You want to pick it out for him?
What's that?
Yeah, turn it. Shake that up.
What?
Let's find out who the winner is. We're going to get some pictures right after he pulls the winner. Drum roll, please. And the winner is
Mary Simon. Is there a Mary Simon?
That's me.
Come on up.
We'll keep it up here for you, Mary, and so we can keep the program moving. Thank you, guys. Thank Barnes & Noble. And tomorrow morning, we're going to start these